Let's give a warm welcoming to the director of this breathtaking film, Denis Villeneuve, Josh Brolin, Zendaya, Timotheé Chalamet, Florence Pugh, and Austin Butler.
Thank you.
How did you manage to outdid yourself?
I knew that the first part will be an introduction to a world, and that introduction will be like a kind of an appetizer. And for me, part two is the main course. It's really, frankly, I'm afraid to say, but I think it's the movie I was born to do.
For Timothy, Zendaya, Josh, how does it feel back?
Not Josh. Everybody can answer, but please.
No.
Everything are under control right now. Yeah. All right.
Hi.
We have to choose our battles.
We love you, Josh. We love you. But guys, how does it feel?
I love you too.
Te queremos mucho. It's we love you in Spanish.
In all seriousness, I think the only inaccuracy that Denis said is that he is born to do every movie that he's done. He's just getting better. It's just true. The talent is growing and he challenges himself, and there's very few... Stop, don't talk, I'm talking. There's very few directors that continue to challenge themselves, especially with the growth of their celebrity. And I've never seen somebody go so deep with their work, and it's wonderful, because Sicario was a masterpiece in itself. Dune 1 was a masterpiece in itself. Something happened here. I don't know what, but I think everybody feels it, so it's wonderful. It's nice to be a part of it.
I think by the end of this film, we see someone who's not only stepped into his manhood, into his adulthood, but is almost accepting a leadership position that he's very reluctant to. You know, is sort of wanting to embark on a different path with Chani, where he'd be taken as he was, and instead destiny calls him, and he can't refuse his destiny.
I think what I really appreciate that Denis brought forward with Chani in this iteration, I think, is really giving her strong convictions and a real strong sense of self. And I think for me, that was enjoyable as an actress because it made the whole love story much harder and more difficult, which means we had to earn it. And their love isn't given. It's something that they have to work for. And she comes into it extremely guarded with a lot of pain surrounding what Paul really represents in her life.
Two new characters that are here today, Florence and Austin.
We have a very unique position, which is that we got to fall in love with the movie as everybody else did, as the world did. We got to see not only just how incredible the story was and these characters were and this world was, but we also got to see just how important it then became to so many people. I hadn't seen anything like it for such a long time. And basically all of us were pleading that if there was ever anything to do with the second, could I be a part of it? So yeah, I think I'm just like soaking all of this up and making sure I'm awake and I'm remembering it all. And it's really pretty fucking cool, actually.
And I've been a fan of every one of Denis' films beforehand. And then to see Dune and know the scale and the texture and the feeling of it and the intensity and the beauty, it was one of those things that I thought if I ever got a chance to be in something like that, I would do anything to be a part of that.
This movie was definitely much more ambitious. There's much more action into it. Much more complexity. I was not alone, of course. I had the help of a fantastic team, but it was by far the most challenging.
I mean, didn't I just...
Do you want me to get out of the room?
I do, actually. Can you turn your chair around like I did? Like I had to? There's very few... Oh, man. I'll start crying if I do this. Oh, stop, man. There's very few filmmakers that show up when you have a love of film like I have. When you grow up and film is your friend, film is your teacher, film is your mentor. And then a director comes by once in a while. My father mistakenly, as a horrible parent, took me at 11 years old to see Apocalypse Now, and it changed my life. He didn't know it was going to change my life. I think he was trying to destroy me at the time, but it changed my life. There's certain movies that you see, and then to actually be a part of that process with great directors and directors that can do intimacy along with scope is very, very, very rare. So there was nothing about this process of making Dune that didn't feel intimate. And that takes a very special person that I think Denis is very, very much. He's totally socially inept. He will have no idea what to say to you during coffee. But man, can he direct a fucking film, huh?
Thank you, Jeff. You're sweet. I love you, Josh Brolin.
What I do appreciate to what Josh was just talking about is there is a way that Denis, amongst all the glorious scope of the movie and the epicness, found these tender human moments that oftentimes were just done in what he calls glance passes, which is just like, hey, just look at each other, just look at each other from across the room, and that might be enough.
You all have a great energy together. Can you share with us a behind-the-scenes memory, maybe a fun story from set?
Oh, Austin, you got a great one.
Yeah,
Austin,
you have
got
one,
a great
guys.
One. Fair enough.
You're blushing,
Fair enough.
so you have one.
I got it. I mean, it's just I can't tell the full story. I mean, there was the schedule had it so there were a few nights that Austin, Zendaya, Florence, and I were actually together in Budapest, but there was one night they were actually all together. So we all went out to a Japanese restaurant together. We all kind of got to know each other, and I can't tell. I can't tell the rest of the story, man. There's a good moment between Florence and Austin, but anyway, I'll let them tell it if they want. But.
Come on, Austin.
Florence has a great story.
No, I can't. I'll get chucked off the stage.
Okay.
Anyway, point is we just like each other, and that's all
Yeah.
you need to know. We just like
we don't
each
need
other. We had a
story.
great time. We love working with each other, and we'll keep our stories to ourselves.
Gotta say, we are very excited for the Mexican and Latinos audiences who are watching the film tomorrow in the fan event. You're gonna have a lot of fun too. So congratulations for the movie. And remember to watch Dune Part 2 in the biggest screen you can, guys.
At the beginning of the movie, there's like all the information we need to know. So it's better to have seen the first film, but if you have not seen it, you can still enjoy the part 2. And I will say in the name of all of us, even Josh, that honestly, we are very proud to be here.
I think this movie's meant to be seen on the big screen. I think Denis could say it better, but this is a movie that shakes the theater, and we could not be more grateful to be here where the first movie got a lot of love. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.